We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
This crusade, this war on terrorism, is going to take a while.
We came, we saw, we died.
We tortured some folks.
You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here with us. It is episode 16 of Dave versus Goliath. So we're going to call this episode 2022, like as well. 2020, running it back. To bring it all into focus for me, I got my main man, Dan. Dan, what's up, dog?
Happy 2022, man.
It's 2020 again.
I don't know what year it is. Everything has been so. Is your time reference all messed up over these last couple of years?
Oh man, yes.
Your Bernie Sanders meme with the mittens. That was 1 year ago.
Yeah.
It feels like a decade.
Dude, we've had, yes, the time warp that they've got us in. Everything is all out of whack. That was a year ago. Our whole democracy, just one short year ago, was completely under siege.
We were this close.
Dude, we almost lost everything in one day. But we got it back. We had the most free and fair election ever. And now here we are. Almost 2019, though, was the last real year.
Yeah.
And here we are in 2022. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, turned into 2 years, 4 jabs, vaccine passports later.
Yeah.
Whoa. I feel like they owe us a little bit of an apology. Some of the conspiracy theorists out there were calling this stuff right from
I
the
wish
get-go.
that were true, man. I wish that were true. But when you watch their responses to comments like that, it's like some kind of weird self-justifying logic. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Talk about COVID numbers, vaccine statistics, anything like that. It's like, well, yeah, but that's because you're still not vaccinated. Or that's like completely illogical arguments.
Yeah.
Whoever's not seeing it is not going to see it.
I know. I thought I'm seeing a couple of the people who, have gotten the jabs and the boosters, and now they're like, why can't I get back to my normal life? This is kind of messed up, but still not asking the necessary questions. I did see there was a post that 6ABC put out about, a cruise ship came back with a bunch of people that tested positive for COVID. And I was like, you guys do know that everyone on that ship had to be vaccinated to get on the boat. Yeah. And they were like, no. That just means that people went out of their way. People are scumbags. They'll just fake those vaccine passports. So I'm like, okay, your theory is, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but your theory is that everybody would have been completely safe had it not been for the people that faked their vaccine cards to get on the Carnival cruise and infect everybody else that was properly vaccinated. That's a good conspiracy.
One of two things is going to happen. Right. They're going to conspire in that way. Or like, for instance, all these restaurant mandates, like Philly, you can't go there anymore. I went out to dinner for the last time in DC last weekend. I'm done. I can't go out there anymore. That was the last weekend. Can't do anything inside. But I think what they'll also do is mandate this. Things will continue to be horrible. And then in the spring, when it clears up, they're going to be like, look at all the good work that we did with these vaccine passports. Aren't they talking about that right now? Isn't that happening right now in the Supreme Court?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of that today, but yeah, I heard they're going through that to decide whether or not, you have bodily autonomy or not.
Right.
That's on.
And the only clip that I saw was that one of Sotomayor coming out and just like spitting false shit.
Yeah.
Facts. Did you see that?
PolitiFact, which is like not on our team. They were Politico was whatever, one of those things put out this thing that was just like hard false. You can't say that. No.
Everybody was like, what?
No, there's not 100,000 kids on ventilators. You psycho. Stop it. Holy shit. This lady, Rachel Maddow.
Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person to person, spreading and spreading, sickening some of them, but not all of them. And the ones that it doesn't sicken don't know they have it. And then they give it to even more people because they didn't recognize they were, right? Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus. The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people. That means the vaccines will get us to the end of this if we just go fast enough.
She says this stuff with such confidence. I'm watching it like she's saying this like this is an absolute fact, not like a reporter, maybe asking questions. She's delivering it like a sales pitch, and almost like like she's an ambassador for this product. It's fucking gross. Yeah, but I
mean, I can almost guarantee. I don't know when that was aired, but I would bet everything that at the first commercial break after that, either the first or second commercial was brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah.
So it's really what it is. At what point do you think that they should not be allowed to call themselves a news network anymore?
Dude, actually, I heard, and I'm not sure what court proceeding this was, but that Rachel Maddow, used that excuse, like that same kind of defense that Hulk Hogan did and Alex Jones did, that like, oh, no. Yeah, like my name is Rachel Maddow. Like my name is Alex Jones, but when I go and do this thing, that's entertainment. That's not news.
It was a California judge. OAN sued her over the Russian Collusion stuff because she was once again stating blatantly,
asserting the facts.
Right. So after it was over, OAN sued her and MSNBC, and a California judge, ruled that it's opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Like ruled on her defense, but said, it's obviously not news. This is an entertainment show. So she's allowed to do that. So legally, it's entertainment. It's not news. But you can call it, it's like, I guess you could name it. You could name it a news network, even though it's not.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, they know that people don't know that. The vast majority of people don't know that. You call something news, they're just going to take your word for it. It's fucking news. No, it's entertainment. But just, amazing. You can just come out and you can just say these things that aren't true. Nobody fact checks her or MSNBC. Literally. Oh, yeah. Once you go get this thing, you can't pass it on. It's like, that's like you should, I don't know, somebody should get fired for that. It's not true.
Well, it's like after the election too, when all of them, I mean, not to get into that whole thing again, but
we're getting into
the next day, they were all like, there was absolutely not any fraudulent activity or dealing in election fraud or anything. And it's like, bitch, it's been 12 hours. You don't know. How could you possibly know? But right from the jump, absolutely not. Safest one ever.
We know that for an absolute fact.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, speaking about the most safest, secure election that we've ever had, bringing in the most vote getting total, most popular president we've ever had. Did you see the infographic that the White House put out today about jobs created?
No.
Dude, they're like, this president has created more jobs than any president ever. And they got this thing and it's just like it's a graph, like he's way up fucking through the roof.
Yeah.
Trump's like, no, negative jobs. No, he made no job, fucking took away jobs. George Bush made a couple, mainly Clinton though, but this guy through the roof. And this is, I love it. I'm just like, any person of average intelligence, I hope, can look at it and go, well, yeah, that's because you absolutely decimated the economy. And then I guess if some jobs come back, Like that can look good. It's how to lie with statistics, though. Like
that's the thing about growth. The starting points are indeterminable.
Yeah.
It's just
but they'll put it out like a flex, like most jobs ever.
They've said that with everything. They don't know how to talk. Remember, like gas prices. They were like, no, they're not high.
Yeah, people were up in a huff on Twitter about the anniversary of 1/6, but it is pretty interesting to see where they've taken it. I don't know if you saw any of the coverage. I just caught a couple clips, but like, they got fucking candlelight vigils of people singing songs and stuff. Nobody's thinking about Ashley Babbitt, though. The only person who lost their life that day. Died. Right. But just the way the theater. Oh, I'm just amazed. My own representative here, Lisa Blunt Rochester, she gave an impassioned speech, so much so that I couldn't tell if she believes her own bullshit or
that's the right.
I'm like, well, she's good.
If it can be used as a political tool, am I wrong, or did I see the LP National make a post about the 1-year anniversary of the deadly insurrection?
Oh, fuck! I thought we were.
Did they do that
about the LP today?
No. Okay.
I'm just.
You sure they did it too?
Yeah, they fucking did it. It was a really long post. It was the longest post they've made, longer than anything they ever did about anything that had to do with COVID or lockdowns or masked up kids or mandates. And
Pow.
Exactly, dude. Oh man, we talked before the show. We've been pretty LP heavy lately, and I've been going through a lot of that stuff. So we're going to just side table it for a little bit, talk about shit that concerns other people. But man,
I didn't mean to trigger you, man. I'm sorry.
You fucking did, bro. You fucking did. I'm just gonna. Next week we're going to tear into those assholes again. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that was a.
They're not, dude. They are so brave when it comes to that kind of stuff. They're on it.
The thing that bothers me the most is this. I saw another short clip, like with I think it was Schumer and Pelosi or something like that, where they're getting this funding together to build a monument. That bothers me more than anything. Did you hear about this? It's going to tens of millions of dollars for a J6 monument. That's the most 1984 shit of all,
dude.
Because they know that someday all of us that were here and know what it really is are going to be gone. And then they're going to get to have the World War II memorial and the Vietnam memorial, and they're going to have the J6 memorial. And, it's Orwell, man. If you can control the past, you can dictate the future. And they're trying to make it into you saw what's her stupid name? Vice President.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah. I mean, in her speech, talking about like listing it right in a row.
Oh, comparing it to 9/11, Pearl Harbor, different story, same groceries.
January 6th.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and dude, it's so funny you said that. Some young 20-something, like angry girl was on TikTok or something, and like she was equating them to the point where like, yo, if you're okay with what happened on 1/6, then you are a white supremacist. You're defending white supremacy. Like, it's only going to take but so much of a push.
Stop comparing protests that have occurred because people are being murdered for the color of their skin to a white supremacist inciting a violent riot on our nation's capital, which was followed through by literal Nazis and terrorists because he didn't win an election. And if you are a school administrator who is not allowing your educators to speak about this with your students, or if you're an educator who's not talking about it because you are too uncomfortable, you are all complicit in white supremacy. And if you can talk about 9/11 and acknowledge that with your students, then you can talk about what happened on January 6th. Just because the terrorists weren't brown or from another country doesn't make this any less of a terrorist attack.
Right. Our democracy is about to crumble, right? The footage of the video of the Viking man.
Yeah. The shaman.
Yeah. While he was up there in the empty room, there was like 2 other people in there. And the police officer that was in there, did you see that part of it? The cop is in there, and he's walking real slow, looking bored and annoyed.
Yeah.
And he's kind of pacing back and forth, and he goes up and he literally says, "Hey, do you think I could get you guys to leave the Senate chamber? Like, can we, you want to move on? Thanks." That was That's it, bro.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Insurrection. I can't believe the way that they throw these words around. That's what, again, man.
Do you think I could get you guys to
right?
to
This poor
take
kid,
your
look,
pictures and keep moving, please? Yeah.
Are all these people who were in there and, farting on Pelosi's desk and, like, if you stolen, look, we're libertarians. Don't steal people's shit. Don't take stuff. I don't care if it's public stuff or not. Don't fucking do that. But we're talking about like a dozen or so people who did that. Outside, you had a riot, a real riot. Yep. That's for sure. But to call it an insurrection is so reckless. And it is exactly what they wanted to do. That's why, like it looks like a complete and total frame job. And it's a 100%. Real shame, man, because a million people went there, mostly boomers, just like American, Midwest normal people supporting my president. Cool. Go do your thing, man. But the tragedy is Trump is not going to save you. Like he's not going to.
And the only person saying anything, dude, God bless her, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I saw her on there the other day. I forget what she was calling it. I think she called it. I think she said this wasn't an insurrection. This was a Fedsurrection or something like that.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm like, you're the only one. She's the only one.
That's why they gave her the boot off Twitter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a Fed, like a specific named. They're pretty sure he's a Fed. I can't remember his name, but he's the one that was out there going, and tomorrow, no, I shouldn't even say it. No, I'm going to say it. Tomorrow, we got to storm the Capitol, everyone. They started chanting.
Ray Epps or something like
Ray
that.
Epps. Thank you, dude. Yeah, you're on
dude,
it.
They have him. He was with all the different people. Like he was at the Antifa groups. They got footage of him there. He was with the 3%ers, and then he was at the Oath Keepers. Like he went around to all the different spots.
Right.
Like, hey, Did you see the footage that came out with the dude snipping the fence?
No. Snipping the fence?
Yeah, you got to look that up. It's so how like there was how the people got in.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the commotion going around, people yelling, flag waving, and stuff like that. And there was a fence that was blocking part of it where the people went up, and this other, obviously a Fed man, and you could tell because he's a professional man. There was no struggling. It was effortless. This dude, dressed in a jacket and a hat, like nonchalantly walks up with a bag on, not talking to anybody. He just walks through the crowd, walks up, pulls out a tool out of his bag, and just like he's done it, like he's practiced it 100 times by himself, just walks up, snip, snip, roll, snip, snip, tool back, walked away. Not like, hey, I broke the fence open. No, he just clipped it quietly, put it away, and kept on moving. And now it was open. It's crazy.
There is nothing that anyone could tell me.
And of course, they haven't found that guy yet either, for sure. He's gone.
Right. Look, inside job. That was the one thing that Kamala Harris, to her credit, if she wants to link up and equate events like 9/11 and Pearl Harbor and 1/6, that would be the common denominator, and that's that Feds had advanced knowledge of all three of those events.
Yeah, they used deadly insurrection.
Deadly insurrection.
The only person that died was shot by a cop.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah,
dude, that's so fucked up. Talk about revisionist history, like right in front of your face, in front of your face. It's disgusting, man.
Meanwhile, the riots that killed way more people and did billions more in damage are still completely disregarded.
Dude, the TV, man, the Fourth Estate, the corporate press, just without them, they couldn't do any of this stuff. They handle it all. They frame everything. I just posted that. I'm like, yo, if you call this an insurrection, you watch too much TV. Seriously. Who was charged with insurrection? Nobody. What's like, where was anybody armed? No,
nobody.
You can't call it that. It's irresponsible. Words matter. Which brings me to my next point, bro. Ted Cruz, a guy who knows the words.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage, incredible bravery, risk their lives to defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol.
If you're that much of a talented lawyer and you just go on TV and you say a year later, after everything that the Democrats have thrown at this and all that, and you're like, yeah, we were witness to a terrorist attack on the Capitol. It's like, man,
dude, he's playing the same game. He's just playing the other side of the same coin. They're not your friends.
no.
I feel like they give the GOP way too much credit too. I saw an awesome meme yesterday. It was like, I forget what it is. It said, it was something like, my friend's a liberal and I'm a conservative, but it's cool because we both want to bomb Iran. So as long as they can keep that, right,
Yeah.
exactly. They're all the same.
Yeah, they want to give this illusion. I mean, even now I see lots of guys on our side talking about, if you want to do anything, you got to join the Republican Party. It's like, really?
Ugh.
Is that where you get to after libertarian, anarchist? The next step is to fucking revert back to the GOP? I don't know, man. So, dude, let's talk about this lockdown a little bit that we're approaching 2 years on. I feel like, I know that's super broad. We kind of started this thing in the midst of the first round of that stuff when we were like, all right, let's deal with this. If nothing else, we can get some FaceTime with our friends and talk it out, and kind of spawned into this cool thing. But let me ask you, dude, do you, looking back to March or February of 2020, would you say, oh yeah, this could definitely go 2 years easy? Or were you like, this will be a thing that'll last probably some months? Or
did I think it would be too? No,
Yeah,
I
did
gotta
you
say
think we'd
I
be
was
doing
naive
this?
about that. Mm-mm.
when do you think that you got to the point where you were like, wait a second, this isn't, they're not going to give this up, really?
I think I knew that something was up when they started talking about the vaccines that fall, and it became apparent that you were going to be led by them through this winding, never-ending way out of this.
Yeah.
Whether it be lockdowns, vaccines, they're just going to kind of pull you through it however they see fit.
They even use that. They use, carrot or the stick. Well, sometimes the carrot, sometimes the stick. Sometimes they're going to be nice to you, and sometimes they're going to beat you into submission.
There was a couple slip-ups like that where you're like, oh, shit, that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it got scarier to me then. In the beginning, I was a little bit naive. I didn't think it would go on that long. The lockdowns bothered me in the beginning, but it's because I thought that they would be temporary. But once they switched to this vaccine focus, that's when I started getting a little bit freaked out.
Yeah.
Forced inoculation, man.
Dude, Italy just said anyone over the age of 50.
Yeah. Dude, Europe's rough.
Yeah.
Europe's rough. Germany's rough right now, too. Talking to my sister, they have to get it. They have to get it. They can't do anything. They can't do anything with their kids. You can't do anything if you don't have it.
Amazing.
So yeah, she was forced, I've had plenty of those conversations with her, but she's like, I can't take my kids anywhere if I can't do anything.
Nothing as bad as Australia and New Zealand. Those guys are like taking TikTok videos of like influencers from the camps, the quarantine camps, trying to like make those look good.
I get to go outside. I'm so incredibly excited. I got my blue wristband, which means that I'm allowed to leave my quarantine room and go for a walk outside in the car park. My scheduled time is in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna take you guys with me. It is so hot outside.
But I have to feel like that's kind of an experiment. I feel like they decided that we're going to take this place. It's so over the top that I feel like that's on purpose. Like they're like, we need to try this somewhere. You guys just do extra. You go all the way and see what people will take.
Yeah.
You do everything. And then we're going to kind of judge and see, like, what are people going to stop having it at this point or not? I mean, how else can you explain what they're doing?
I know. It's amazing, dude. And the craziest part is, I mean, I think that's why they're hammering out this propaganda. But it looks like they're giving the appearance that people are like, no, this is the way. Like I got to spend 2 weeks here. I got Wi-Fi. They let me out a couple times a day. Exactly. It's like the 2030 plan, like living, you know, in your tiny house. You get your little key card. It's like a hotel. It's a legit fucking concentration camp. Just, you know, with some niceties. You know, I don't know how else to explain it, but or jail. It's at least jail. But they're like,
and isn't it crazy that you have to look for that though? Like not a word from anybody in the media.
Yep.
Or on the other side too. I just heard that like in I think, was it in Paris? Another one of those European cities. There was tens of thousands of people in the streets protesting that. Right. Nobody covered it. Nobody.
This is a global effort. It's not like, yeah, there's different levels. America has it better than Australia and stuff. But this is a global thing. It's just, that's the craziest part. So like, yeah, whereas you'd think that our media, who for, you know, 20 years was talking about countries that, oh, we need to help, you know, they don't have freedom and democracy over here. We need to go help. There's the dictator, the total evil, and we need to be on the lookout for this stuff and defend and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, there's literally fucking, I think this is one of the reasons that they like diluted words like fascism and diluted words like Nazi, because now you have actual like behavioral and structural things that you could point to and go, that's that. But now it doesn't mean anything because those words are destroyed. You know?
Yep. They don't have any weight anymore.
Language matters. Yeah. You know what I mean? Ted Cruz, stop throwing around the T word to your fellow Americans. I was telling conservatives to stop calling Antifa people that. Like, it's for your own sake. You know? Just call them something else. Yeah. Rioters, whatever, violent thugs. I don't care.
Yeah. Don't diminish the power in words. Okay. Going back to the vaccine thing too now. Still pushing boosters, trying to get kids boosted. Everybody has to know. You got to be blind not to know that booster isn't doing anything for Omicron. Yeah. And everybody seems to know that. But they're relentless at the very end here. Like, yeah, we know it doesn't, but like, did I tell you, I saw Joy Reid on TV and she was talking about how rough of a holiday she had because she had COVID, or her and her husband had COVID or something like that. And, it was a really hard holiday and it was really tough, and ended it with, and that just goes to show you how well these vaccines and boosters are working. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It's like, it's, you know, if you're telling us for the past 2 years, you have to follow the science. You have to follow the science. Well, now we actually have some data. And the data states that even though Rachel Maddow states the exact opposite, like, you can get that shot. You can get the 2 of them. You can get the 3 or the 4 of them, and it will not prevent you from getting it or spreading it. And if your greatest, it's not even a claim. Oh, well, you get it. It'll keep you out of the hospital. It's like, that's the vast majority of anybody who gets it, vaccinated or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Again, it's how to lie with statistics. It's like, you could say that, but it's the same for the other people too. Speaking of which, I don't think I'm giving anything. Oh, you know, this isn't private information, but you got the Omicron, didn't you? You sick bastard. You look great, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got an Omicron survivor here. Showed up to work.
It's annoying more than anything, because now I have to go through all the protocols and all that kind of shit. But yeah, man, you know, felt like I had a cold. Yeah. Runny nose, cough, need to get checked out for work. Came up positive, so now I have to deal with all the, you know, whatever the protocols. But part of me is kind of, I kind of been just I've been waiting, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just to be like, look, got it, done. Shut the fuck up.
So now, according to the science, once you're through with this, you'll be as protected or more so, factually, than anybody who got 3 or 4 jabs.
Factually, yes. According to real science, yes. According to the mandates, no. Yeah. Meanwhile, they've acknowledged like, for instance, you know how I think it was the CDC. I actually finally put it up and posted it. I think it's been since August, man, for the last 6 months. Like, you know how the little signs in the shops, at least where I'm at in Pennsylvania, still say, like, please wear a mask regardless of vaccination status.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm traveling internationally the next month and it says you need a negative COVID test 24 hours before departure and arrival, regardless of vaccination status. So even this pillar that these people reference for information, you can just go there and see that it's not helping. Yet Biden will still get up and still saying it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Right.
While his CDC is saying, like, I guess at a certain point, like, they have to tell, they'll slide it in there on the website, a little bit of paragraph, either way. Yeah. How are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to lie? I mean, I guess it's not allowed. Yeah, president. It's not against the law for a president to lie, is it?
That's actually they think that's a thing. Yeah, it's definitely not against the law for the president to lie. I think you read about that.
It's not illegal to tell a lie, but it shouldn't be legal to construct and enforce a policy on a lie. There's a big distinction there, man. That's a huge step, you know. Yes. But those policies are all made by lawyers, and I remember having the epiphany when I was dealing with things in the court system too, where I realized lawyers are 100% allowed to lie. It's set up like that on purpose. Like when you go into a courtroom, you have to swear in and be under oath, but the lawyers don't swear in. They don't have to. They can stand up there and lie in front of the judge and witnesses and the jury. They're allowed to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
They don't get sworn in. So the lawyers are allowed to lie. And Washington is full of lawyers that make laws.
Yeah. Biden's been mind-boggling in Delaware. A Delaware lawyer is like the scummiest person on earth. We promoted him to the very tippy top. Yeah. Say whatever it takes, baby. Whatever it takes. That's what I'm saying. We talked about a lot of like downer shit tonight, but I got to say that personally, this has been a pretty cool year as far as Dave versus Goliath is concerned.
You know, you're talking about the lockdowns. I remember having that conversation with you from the beginning. That was kind of like what it was. Like, oh, fuck, we might not be able to see. We don't know what this, let's chat on here.
Yeah. Right. I mean, in the beginning, remember they weren't letting people go across state lines. Like there were cops. And you're across the state.
That was rough in the beginning too. I mean, if I wanted to cross the border, if you wanted to go to a liquor store in Delaware, there was cops in parking lots looking at license plates.
Right. That was one of those laws that's always been on the books. That's always been in the books. Yeah. And people were like, no one's ever going to do anything about that. It's like, okay. Once they click on martial law, you might see the cops protecting booze marts. But yeah, I'm proud of us. We're going to keep doing this thing. I'm going to bust out more than 16 episodes this year. That's for sure.
Well, dude, let me just say, I'm proud of you too, because in the last year, I know we'll save this for another episode, but you jumped into the LP and just had to go to war immediately. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know you didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate that. This was just something you were going to get into, and you just had to have your dukes up as soon as you walked in the door. That's rough, dude.
Yeah, it would have been a lot cooler if it was more positive experience.
That's all right. If you want to do another one and talk about some LP shit, we can, because now you know that I'm going to be home for a few days.
Yeah. Shit. Fucking quarantine.
I'll be around.
All right. Real quick, before we get out of here, let's drop some sponsors real quick. Anthem Planning. Anthem Planning is dedicated to helping you grow businesses, become more efficient in every way, from helping you manage your inventory or your fleet to completely revamping IT systems or HR procedures. Anthem is ready to guide you through the process. Hit them up. Great people at anthemplanning.com. Also, go to ryanbunting.com for all of your graphic design needs. Ryan is also a talented author. Check out his book, Project Manticore, on Amazon. Order that. I know he's got another book coming out soon. So, support him any way you can. Also, check out Wheelie's Pharmacy. That's FARMACY.com. Use promo code DVG15 for 15% off at checkout for top-notch CBD products, oils, gel caps, teas, and lotions, etc. Guys, I appreciate you being here with me, Dan. As always, bro. Thank you, dude. Appreciate your time, and yeah, man, feel better. Get rid of that Omicron.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Let's chat soon.
You got it, man. Guys, thanks. It's been real. This has been episode 16. We'll see you next time on Dave versus Goliath.
Now that the smoke's gone.